most of founders have no board for their own organization. They're absolutely alone, extremely lonely. I personally work nowadays with 8 coaches, mentors, and consultants in each of the most important areas of the life that I want to master somehow. I have my either coach, consultant, or mentor that I talk weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly for business, performance, hormones, and biohacking, nutrition and weightlifting, spirituality, sexual intimacy, personal branding, and ontology. That is why I'm being certified to be able to coach in the US. 8 freaking coaches. Why? Because every time that I have a problem, a challenge, or something I want to achieve that I'm pushing limits all the time, I have my team, my personal board of 8 players that I consult with. Sometimes I even link them, and we produce a decision way faster. Before, 10 years ago, it was absolutely alone. I had a great team below on the company, but not for my own organization.
We've got to go. Like, we got to go a layer deeper than that.
Yeah.
I mean, that honestly, it's the first time I've ever heard this on this podcast. It may be actually the first time I've ever heard this in general. And that almost like never happens on this, right? You built this, basically you've built a team of, you said 8, right? 8 coaches?
Yeah. Sometimes it's 9, sometimes it's 7, depending on the month. Right now, we brought a 9th because we're working on very important things with my partner, Jade, my fiance, and we brought a couples council that we're going to be working for 4 months for the next stage. We want to get married, we want to have kids. We moved to the US many years ago. We have some things that we want to master before we get into this very important stage of kids. So we brought this counselor, and we have our 9th coach.
So is this are they rotating in and out? Are they like what? I'm just fascinated by what does this structure look like?
Yeah,
talking about this organization.
Yeah,
your life organization, right?
Exactly.
What is the structure of that look like?
So the structure is like as the company has its own areas and verticals. You have marketing, customer service, etc. Yeah. I have my own areas that I want to master. I want to master nutrition for myself, right? Exercise, my hormones, and personal well-being, my spirituality, etc. So I see that those as areas of my company, my fiance, etc. Yeah. And I try to bring the best coaches, mentors, or consultants or counselors from around the world that I can consult depending on the schedule. Sometimes it's once a week, once every 2 weeks, or once a month, depending on the cadence of the topic or the situation that I'm in. If I'm in the middle of an M&A, of course, with my business consultant, I'm going to be working closely. Now I'm working closer to the intimacy part and the sexual part and the couples part, just because we're more focused on that. And many times we do meetings that we link 2 of those consultants because I want to produce a decision that has 2 sides. And usually when you talk to a business consultant, it's like business. When you talk to your own therapist or coach, it's like, no, you got to balance more and be more chilled. And so I link them and I tell them, okay, we have to produce a decision as an organization, because if not, everyone is in its own silo.
Right.
So we create that team. Sometimes it's like my doctor and my coach. It's like we want to push forward. We want to accelerate the growth of this year, but I need more support on this side. And it's way easier to produce results, decisions constantly, and decide on the changes that we want to go forward, so that the team is usually integrated, and I feel absolutely supported. The same way as you're a solopreneur versus having a huge team below you. It's like, oh, great that I don't need to be the most expert guy in marketing, in sales, in customer service. You just hire the best that you can, either external consultants or in our team. So you don't need to be the best in marketing, the best in sales. You just delegate. So I'm not the best in spirituality. I'm not the best in sexual intimacy, and I'm the best in personal branding. I have my own coaches, consultants, and mentors that I can consult in a regular basis, so that my life organization or company is also thriving the same as my personal companies.
When you talk about founders, right? One of the biggest challenges, I think you probably see it all the time with founders as well, is they struggle with asking for help, right? And what you're talking about is the exact opposite. I mean, you couldn't get more opposite, from what you're talking about, right? Where it is literally the other extreme from the founder, that loneliness. I'm carrying the burden of the world on my shoulders. No one understands me. I have no help. I'm trying to do this all on my own, right?
When I'm in front of people that I love, I say that that's the stupidest mindset that you can have as a founder. It's the same mindset as you would say, like, no, I should never, hire employees. I have to do marketing. I have to do sales. I have to do finances. Sure, if you want to be a solopreneur, if you want to be a freelancer, then you may. If you want to build a sustainable company that thrives over time and scales, there's no freaking chance that you can do it all by yourself.
Yeah.
Are you stupid or weak just to get help from a marketing guy, from a sales guy?
Right.
No, of course not. You're building your team.
Right.
But for some ego reason, most people don't do that for their own life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you really think that you're the best in sexuality, the best in as a doctor, the best nutritionist, the best weightlifter? Of course not. It's obvious.
Mhm.
But
Right.
it's easier to see it on a doctor rather than on experts on other fields.
How did you get to that realization? Was it part of your journey that helped you learn that? And what
I
was
was
that like?
lonely AF.
Say that again. You were what?
I was lonely AF.
You can say as fuck on the podcast.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was lonely as fuck.
In your
That's
journey
right.
as a founder, you were that way. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Because here's the thing,
Yeah.
we had very big shot investors from early
Yeah.
stage Skype and Facebook, but then after 1 or 2 years, we did a management buyout because some other countries, like Brazil or Australia, were growing way more than Argentina. So there
Yeah.
was an opportunity for us to do the management buyout, but then we didn't have any more of those, that smart money that was teaching us and helping us. My co-founder, amazing guy, I love him. But he wasn't my boss. So I was learning as a co-founder. And, my father comes from education. So I wasn't learning that much. I don't have any older brothers. I was very lonely. And I knew, I was 26, 27 years old. I had 100 employees. We were doing $10 million a year in revenues in Argentina and had no team for myself. I'm producing like very impactful decisions every single day for my company and for my life. And I have no support whatsoever. This doesn't make any sense.
Right.
It's like giving a junior guy a huge P&L and tell him like, okay, go handle the P&L. It makes no sense. You need a CPA or a finance consultant in order to learn. So I saw that as my whole life and organization, and I said, okay, this doesn't make any sense. It's like, imagine tomorrow you will be the president of the United States and you have no consultants, no advisors. You gotta deal with yourself. You would say like, this is freaking mental.
Right.
You can't deal with that whole country. You got a huge team of consultants. It's obvious. So for me, it was as that obvious for my own life and company. So I started creating teams. I said, okay, we co-founded EO Argentina. Okay, I have my entrepreneurial community. I need a business mentor. So I went to EO. I got, it was a guy that I really admire. I said, I want you to be my mentor. I will also mentor other folks, to give back. And then, I started, I started with a coach, and then I started seeing a doctor, and then I went for performance. Then I started developing my spirituality, meditation, Buddhism. So I said, I need a master or something, but this is too big for me. Mm-hmm. So slowly and steady, I started building my own team. And that's why nowadays I have, this amazing team. I'm super supported. And, because I'm pushing my limits on every single area of life, like relationships, my personal life, and moving through countries or sometimes continents. We used to live in Indonesia 5 years ago. So many things we're trying to achieve that now everything that I need to solve, I just go to the team, produce a decision and execute. It's not that it's easy, but it's way easier than have to figure it out myself.
Right.